Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are comparing two famous pencils, Faber Castell Polychromos and Prismacolor Premier. Colored pencils are great mediums. You can create many beautiful portraits, especially very realistic portraits with colored pencils. But Polychromos are good for other things, and I think Prismacolors are better for the other. But what are those things? I'm going to explain all in a second. If you find my videos helpful, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Let's see what the differences are. Faber Castell Polychromos, Prismacolor Premier. Our first criteria is chemistry. Prismacolor is wax-based and Faber Castell Polychromos are oil-based. That means they have waxy binder or oil binder to hold the pigments together. Here I am showing you the Prismacolor pencils. They have very nice variety of colors, and these are the Faber Castell Polychromos. The second criteria is the vibrancy. Let's see how they perform in terms of vibrancy of the colors. For this comparison, I chose very similar colors on both sets. Please share in comments what you think. I would like to know, but in my opinion, there is no difference in vibrancy of the colors. They both are really vibrant. Layering is our third criteria. Good layering means putting many layers of the same or different colored pencils and getting a smooth result in the end, with, of course, maximum coverage possible. It was easy to layer for both sets and the results were great for both. If you see any differences here, it's just because of the colors I have. I only have the set of 36 for Faber Castell, whereas I have a set of 150 for Prismacolor, so it is hard to get the same shade, same colors sometimes. So I just wanted to let you know that the difference might be just because of the different color choices. But I used a very nice violet color at the bottom here, and for the top layer I chose a light baby blue for both. And what I see here is the coverage of the white is better in Prismacolor slightly, but they layer both really well. And of course the layering is really easy. Our next criteria is softness, and of course Prismacolor will win this one as it is wax-based. Wax-based color pencils are known for their creamy, buttery texture or feel on the paper. Faber Castell Polychromos are on the harder side. But this gives them the ability to create finer points. If you want to achieve fine details with your pencil, which one is better? Well, I'm adding fur-like lines in both columns. With Prismacolor, my first strokes seem like dark colored dots, and the end of the fur didn't look thin at all. But Polychromos created really nice fine details, and I can't see any color difference between my strokes. So for fur-like structures, for hair maybe Faber Castell Polychromos might be a better choice. Burnishing is another criteria. For this, I will choose 3 colors I use commonly in portraits. Burnishing means once you're happy with your layers, let's say for the skin, then you go with one of the lighter shades and make a final layer with applying more pressure. Here I added my layers and I'm applying more pressure on the top layer with my cream color. This way, top coating combines the below layers nicely and smoothly. With Prismacolor wax-based pencils, you will get smoother results because this buttery texture, buttery feel really helps in terms of combining all these colors underneath. Right now, I'm using similar colors on the Faber Castell set, and I'm going to go coat it, burnish it with my white color instead. I didn't choose my cream color because my cream color in Faber Castell is pretty yellow. As you can see, it still burnishes, and I think it does pretty good job, but it feels like I can still see my pencil strokes in the darker color, and it doesn't blend them as well as Prismacolor does. This might show that we might need more layers with Faber Castell Polychromos underneath before we burnish. Does solvent work differently on both? Let's see. Again, I used similar colors on both sets, and I applied the same amount of layers to make it fair, of course. So we will see when we apply our solvent what's going to happen. If you're applying your solvent, you have to start from the lightest color and then go into the darkest one, because otherwise you're going to create that dirty look on your lighter color. And I am doing the same thing for Faber Castell right now. I see that solvent works equally well on both. Solvent really blends them well. It breaks down all the binders, oil or wax binders between the pigments, and the pigments blend really well with each other. But Prismacolor yielded a more vibrant result. We cannot deny that. So apparently, when we are using Faber Castell with solvent, we have to consider that the colors might lose their vibrancy. Our next criteria is the pigment. Let's see, when solvent breaks down the pigment, how much of it we get. I applied the same amount of pigment on both, and I used the same color. I just dipped my brush into my solvent, and then I went in and tried to blend all those pigments together and made a brush stroke towards right. I just want to see how far the pigment will go on both. Now I will mark the last point I see pigment on paper. I see here in Prismacolor, and I see here on Faber Castell. It seems like Prismacolor did a slightly better job on this one. I would like to also talk about the cleanliness in a second. So cleanliness, what do I mean by cleanliness? When you work with wax-based pencils, for example, you will have these little bits to deal with. Especially when you apply layers after layers, you will see those bits. Whereas with oil-based pencils, such as Faber Castell Polychromos, you won't have the same issue. Let me show you what I'm talking about by zooming in. Do you see the bits right there? So if you don't brush them off as you go with your painting, you run the risk of smudging them. But with oil-based pencils, you won't have that. Let's talk about color variety. What is the largest size available for these brands and for these type of pencils? Prismacolor Premier has a set of 150. That's the larger size they have, and I already have it. They have all these neon colors and silver and gold colors as well, if you're interested. Faber Castell Polychromos' largest set is 120. Let's talk about money. So, money-wise, Prismacolor Premier is much cheaper than Faber Castell Polychromos. I have another set of waxed-based pencils, which are called Caran-d'Ache Luminance pencils. They are really expensive, and in comparison to Prismacolor, of course they do a better job, but I don't think the price is worth it. So set of 72 for Prismacolor is $52, and Faber-Castell Polychromos set of 60 is $82. What are they best for? First of all, before I say anything, I want to tell you that all the artists using these two sets create everything perfectly with both sets. So there's no separation there. But I personally find making human portraits, skin, anime and cartoons with Prismacolor Premier rather than Faber-Castell. And with Faber-Castell Polychromos, I really feel more comfortable drawing animal portraits, architecture, or landscape. Here I'm trying to show you why it is good with skin color, because it burnishes really well, it creates such a nice skin tone. And with Faber-Castell Polychromos, you can create all these nature details very easily. Pencil quality. Look at the core of the Prismacolor. It's not very thick, and the shell around, the wooden shell around the core is not very thick either. But with Faber-Castell, they seem more sturdy, they feel heavier, and they don't break easily. If you work with colored pencils, you have to sharpen them frequently, and I use an electrical sharpener for that. What I realized when I'm applying, for example, burnishing or applying details, Prismacolor tends to break more easily than Faber-Castell Polychromos. Smell, interesting criteria, huh? So I just wanted to mention, because Prismacolor Premier has this beautiful but very intense smell sometimes when I'm burnishing, so that affects me once in a while, whereas Faber-Castell has no smell at all to me. With wax-based pencils, because in time the binding wax might surface, wax bloom happens. If you see a white coat on your painting in time, you can just clean it with a soft cloth. And of course, Faber-Castell Polychromos doesn't have this issue at all, because they are oil-based. I hope this comparison will help you a lot. I love both sets and I'm glad I have them. Please send me a like if you like this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. Thanks a lot for watching this video. If you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe and visit my website ecegürler.com. Stay with art.